Hello everyone, and welcome to a rather kind of exciting video because, wow, it has almost been 3 years for the Japanese version of Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. And I've only been making videos for approximately, well, almost a year now. I guess in November I will hit my kind of 1-year anniversary for making videos. So lots of anniversaries coming up in the future. Also my streaming anniversary. Anyway, focus. Anyway, you guys, this video is about the top things I would like from the JP anniversary, the 3rd anniversary that is. Because honestly, anniversary time is one of the more exciting times that we get in Brave Exvius. Anniversaries are, a celebration of everything, and last year's anniversary was way bigger than I expected. And needless to say, this has been kind of a up and down year for figuring out whether or not, or for, content as well as rewards and everything. So coming into this anniversary, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous about making too many big predictions. But I feel that every year, an anniversary for something needs to be bigger and better than the previous year. So with that being said, I'm going to now go into some of the things I would really like to have / get for our 3rd year anniversary. And I think the first one to lead off with is a total of, well, this is a little bit of a greed list. I'm going to say the first thing that I definitely would like to see is 3 full UOCs. I don't necessarily think this has happened. I think we're more likely to get a bunch of 5-star EX tickets because they're random and Alum can basically say, and limited ones, not for new units, just for old units, because that's kind of a thing. But I'm separating this out. I think that UOCs are such a cool thing and such a powerful thing to give to the community because it represents choice. It's more valuable being able to literally say, yeah, I want this, I want that, I want that, and that makes all of my life a lot better. Now, if you just consider the power of a UOC, I mean, it can represent a super TMR. If you are incredibly close to a super TMR, it can represent a new 7-star unit. For instance, maybe one of the ones you miss, like these 2 girls. Like, say you just need a 7-star debuffer or buffer, then you can essentially get it with UOCs. And UOCs are just such a nice thing to give to a community that may be a little bit frustrated with some of the changes recently, such as the damage formula change. Again, you can go watch that video, or you can go watch my comment on the State of JP video if you want to, hear about different things on the JP side, about how things are. But I would say that this, the representation of a UOC, especially 3 UOCs, obviously the way I'm thinking is 1 full UOC for every year that we've been around is a pretty nice thing to just give to people for an anniversary. And if they're throwing out 5 UOCs for essentially purchasing some Lapis, hey, why not just give those 3 UOCs and let's have some nice times with them. The second thing I want to see is a general rainbow rate increase. Now, Alum has been testing this out for the last couple of months, so I think it's time that they finally nut up or shut up about this. And don't make it Lapis only. Make it available to everyone. And, if they have to make it so that old tickets are stuck at the 3% rate, I guess that's pretty fair. We can't all be Nazta, but for people who have, large ticket collections, it might represent a major loss in profit for Alum. So maybe people with just a ton of tickets, maybe they should be stuck at the 3% rate for the old tickets and introduce a new, 5% rate ticket. But either way, the general rainbow rate needs to be increased more than anything. a lot of people consistently joke on my streams, hey, we're going to see a 6-star base unit, or we're going to see the introduction of the 8-star. I don't think so. I think it's way too early for that, and that's pushing players. Probably a little too hard to constantly be upgrading. Not only that, but we'd have to look at another year of upgrade, or another, 3 months to 5 months of upgrading all the old units. And honestly, I would rather Alum spend their time focusing on getting content out, new trials, new, and not just regular trials. Something I didn't mention in my State of the JP video was, 10-man trials too, like Madam's Mansion, New Summoned. All of this is content that we really need a lot more than a 8-star unit. The 7-star units haven't been around that long, so just keep it like that. But with trials essentially becoming really mandatory, and the changing of the damage formula too, meaning that super TMRs are more needed than ever, I think that I would say that I would like to see a 6% rainbow rate, because the lack of 4-star base units that have been put in the game on more recent banners, and the general need for 5-star base units, I think that a 6% rainbow rate is kind of needed. It's still low enough that it's really not going to make that big of a difference. It's definitely going to make, enough of a difference to make people feel better, but it's still a lot of the times. If you take a look at some of the luck I've had with 5%, obviously sometimes pretty good luck and sometimes absolutely terrible luck. But if super TMRs are going to be more needed, especially for newer players, I think there needs to be a generally higher rainbow rate. And that way Alum can keep Lapis costing as expensive as it is. I swear to God, I'm seeing, super whales that are trying to get 8 copies of units anyway. Might as well just make it a little bit easier on them, and, if you make it easier on everybody, then hey, maybe more people will be spending money. But I think that the rainbow rate definitely needs to increase. And speaking of last year's anniversary, because I talked about that much earlier in the video, but hey, it's a segue. The next thing I want to see the most is I want to see the return of what Alum did last year, except better. Last year, and on the global side for the 2nd anniversary, we saw however total much Lapis you had spent over the course of the game, you got reward tickets for basically doing that. I think that needs to happen again. That was such a nice, unexpected surprise for so many people last year when it happened. It was definitely something that I never thought would happen last year on the JP side, but it did happen, and Global got it too, and it was such an awesome, cool thing. Obviously, free-to-players, you're not getting as much rewards, but you're still getting some free rewards. And more importantly, again, I want to stress that I do feel like these free-to-play games, you gotta keep the people who spend money happier than the people who don't spend money. And I mean, you still keep the people who don't spend money happy. I mean, you're essentially getting a game for not spending any money. It's very entitled to have, any kind of anger about someone who's basically giving you something and you're giving them nothing. And don't tell me you're giving them your time. That's your choice. But I think that it's such a valuable thing to give players who are supporting the game such a nice, big reward that is essentially, scaling to how much money they spend. I think it encourages spending on the game, which also will help the game's health considerably into its now, going on to its 4th year of being active, which is a fairly long time for a lot of phone games. So I think I would expect to see it. I wouldn't necessarily expect to see a formula that gives more tickets. I would expect a formula that gives a better amount of tickets. So, for instance, maybe we see, for every 50,000 Lapis spent, a 5-star EX ticket, and then for every 10,000 lapis spent, like a 4-star or a 3-star or something in there. But I think it has to be better than what they did the previous year. There were people out there who got 2,000 tickets, there were people who got 10 tickets, but either way, it was a really cool extra reward that we were not expecting to get, on top of all the other stuff we got for the 3rd anniversary. And one of the final things that I want to put in this video that I would like to see, I do not necessarily expect a lot of quality of life changes in the future. Like, for instance, currently we've seen a lot of quality of life enhancements happen recently in the game. We're seeing, arena rewards, be they not the greatest thing in the world, and that was the wrong button, and it takes like 10 clicks to get back out. Okay. Arena coins, we saw a nice general increase with them. We've seen, the addition of the turn counter. We've seen the addition of, timers and extra things. And the quality of life has just been greatly improved in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, even over the last 6 months on the JP side. The only thing that I would like to see is I would like a EXP fusion rate events to just be a consistent thing on the weekend, not something Alum throws out whenever they decide it's a holiday or something like that, like we had last month in August. I would like to see, EXP rate ups happen just more, because leveling is not a feature in the JP side. It is not an interesting thing on the JP side. You want your units to be max level all the time. So yeah, just make that a consistent thing if you're going to do a quality of life alum. But the last thing I really want is I want an amazing banner of some kind, and not repeated units, but brand new units. I want to see the introduction of something new and exciting. Third season story units. That would be really exciting. Although at this rate, I don't think we're going to see them probably until November, December, given the way the story's kind of shaping up. It's not quite done yet in Season 2, so I'd be really surprised to see Season 3 characters for the anniversary. I would like to see, some Final Fantasies that need the love. 13, 8, more 6, although maybe not Edgar and Sabin. Celeste or Kefka. I want to see some big units. I want to see some hype units that we've all been waiting for, and I want them to be really, generally strong. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts about my biggest things that I would like to see for the 3rd anniversary. And I'm sure I'm forgetting a whole bunch of things, but hey, why think of everything? Let's be a little surprised. But if you would like to leave in the comments below what things you want to see the most from the 3rd year anniversary, positive things, you guys. Let's stay positive. Please write them in the comments below, and if not, come discuss them on my live streams, as those are always good fun to have you guys around in. So that's all for now. I will see you next time for another video about something. See you then.